Yeah, exciting matchup Sunday afternoon, and both teams the early December trying to figure how they can get some momentum before conference play. Talk about this team. I mean, you guys are one of the best teams in the country.
You're watching The American on ESPN from beautiful Dallas, Texas. Welcome in to American basketball as the SMU Mustangs bring in the number 13 team in the country, the Texas A&M Aggies. It's the 180th meeting all time between SMU and A&M. And welcome inside Moody Coliseum. I'm John Little alongside former college coach Brian Burton. Great to have you with us as well. Excellent start to the season for SMU. 3-0, and considering that hope springs eternal right now for SMU, is this the biggest game of the Coach Lanier era?
It is. It's just year two of the era, but this is the team that has the most promise now that you're in year two. You've got a top recruiting class, the second best in the American. So, yeah, this is the one you have circled that you knew you wanted to have at home.
And exactly right. Rob Lanier said, I take credit for this schedule. This is what we wanted this year, but if they want the smoke, they got it. When you talk about the smoke, the player to watch, Wade Taylor IV for Texas A&M.
Yeah, the preseason SEC Player of the Year. He does it all. Coach Lanier described him as he's the type of player that keeps you up at night. You can play great defense against him, and he can still score or get fouled. He does it all for this team. He's a leader. He's the engine. He does it on the defensive end, offensive end. He is the engine that makes this team go.
Meanwhile, for the SMU Mustangs, Zurich Phelps has been more vocal this season. Didn't have his best game last time out, but he's capable of going for 20-plus every night.
Yeah, he's the real deal. He's as talented of a guard as A&M will play all season. He has 11 assists and 3 turnovers. That's one of the biggest jumps in his game, is that he's making the right decision and not just focusing on scoring. His shooting numbers will go up, but he's taking quality shots, and he's really become a winning basketball player, Coach Lanier says.
Let's go. A big night at Moody Coliseum for both these teams. They are fired up for this matchup. Williamson trying to take it all the way to the hole. Can't hit, but Keon Ambrose Hilton's putback is off the mark as well.
Yeah, offensive rebounds will be a huge key in this game for both teams. Both teams love to attack the glass and work for second chance opportunities.
Here's the A&M starting lineup. Hayden Hefner, Wade Taylor IV, Wildens Levesque, along with Coleman and Radford. A takeaway for Edwards, who has been just outstanding in every aspect this season, but can't make it go. 0 for 3 for SMU so far in tight. But a foul early on Texas A&M. It goes on Henry Coleman III.
Yeah, the part I love about what SMU's done from the beginning, they've been the aggressor. First couple possessions, getting a steal defensively, attacking the glass, and getting second and third opportunities. That's a great sign of how they want to impose their will early in this game.
Phelps picking up Radford. As A&M was concerned about SMU's speed coming into this one. Didn't want to play an up-and-down game with SMU. But Taylor, right to the rack, can't hit. Coleman with the rebound. Shot clock did not reset. Hefner steps right, cranks the three, comes up short. And more Pogo sticking around to that rebound. It goes out of bounds into the SMU bench. But you see how much both teams want to get after the O glass in this one.
Huge, huge key. One of the keys of the game will be the offensive glass. You can see why both teams hold it at a high premium to be able to get second chance opportunities for their team, use their athleticism, and allow people to play in space.
A&M out-rebounding SMU 6-3 so far. Williamson had a piece of Radford's face. It didn't get called. Here comes Phelps the other way. Pull-up three. It is blocked. Levesque comes out of nowhere, and he saves it.
Yeah, you think both teams have a sense of urgency. You can feel the intensity from the beginning on every single possession.
Double team out front. Taylor threw it away, but Radford comes up with it and lays it home.
Yeah, Radford and Taylor together, arguably one of the best backcourts, if not the best backcourt in the country.
Leading scoring backcourt last year in the SEC. The teardrop does not fall for Williamson. SMU is 0 for 7 from the floor so far. A&M only 1 of 6.
Yeah, both teams showing a defensive commitment. SMU staff talked about the first month of the summer. All they did was work on defense to get back to that identity that Coach Lanier is so used to being at Tennessee working for Coach Barnes.
Both of these teams trying to get the cobwebs worked out. Hefner into the lane. His fadeaway doesn't fall. And Williamson the rebound for SMU.
Extremely physical game, extremely physical blockouts. Love to see both teams really getting after it competitive-wise from the beginning. This is a college basketball game, and I mean that in the highest sense possible, as Edwards dumps it to Williamson, cutting in for the tie. The thing that this SMU team has is so different than in the past with last year's team. So many playmakers, so many guys that can not only get a bucket for themselves, but they're very unselfish. A lot of guys that can create off the bounce and play. They're playing for each other this year, starting back when that foreign tour that they went on this summer. A lot of depth at the guard spot for SMU. Inside the paint, Levette can't hit, but Coleman's on the other side. He had 23 points and 5 rebounds last year in the win over SMU in College Station. And A&M does not care about how pretty it is. They could care less. They just want to make sure it's gritty. That's what they care about. So you'll see a ton of gritty plays like that on the offensive glass. And Brian, keys to the game tonight. What do you have? Yeah, we've talked about it already. Second chance points. You can see how both teams are fighting on the glass. 5 offensive rebounds for the Aggies, 3 for SMU already. Who wins the battle of the paint? Who will be the more aggressive team to dominate the paint and the free throw line on the offensive end? And then three-point shooting. Neither team a great three-point shooting team. So whoever can get a few extra baskets from the long distance range will be a big asset in this game. Sounds like you expect a close one. I do expect a close one. Yeah, you can feel it already. Wade Taylor gets a step high off the glass, does not fall. Almost another offensive rebound, is it? Yes, it is. And that's part of what Wade Taylor does. He draws so much attention. You saw a second defender come try to block his shot. Well, that leaves his man open under the basket. Guards have to be able to crack down to be able to block out, and there's a distinct height advantage. So that's part of what makes this A&M team so hard to guard. Anderson Garcia is in, wearing number 11. He's a great offensive rebounder. Another motor guy. There are a lot of motor guys on either team. There's going to be no lack of effort tonight in Dallas. There's Ambrose Hilton getting in the passing lane. Hefner recovers. Angle pass to Radford, who can't hit the three. And SMU wants to run if they can. Phelps up the floor, cut off. Love the patience by Phelps. That's a part of the maturation from last year. Feels like he made a rush something in a situation like that last year and then slowed it down, got to the paint, didn't make the shot, but got a shot in the paint the way he wanted. Just 5 to shoot here, so the playmaker, Wade Taylor the fourth, gets doubled inside. Garcia can't touch it in, but follows his own miss, and he has it ripped away. Here comes Phelps. SMU looking for numbers. Harris spots up for 3. SMU back to within 2 after the triple. Yeah, great job defensively and great job pushing the pace, playing fast like they want to play, and making the extra pass. And wall up inside on Washington, who gets it back and will go to the line. Physical play tonight on tap in Dallas. Yeah, I love the way this game is being played. You can tell, again, there's just such a sense of urgency. We're only in the second week of the season, and it feels like we're in a conference game right now with the way it's being played. Great decision by Zerk Phelps. 2 defenders in front of him, kicks it to a wide open player, and this is what Coach Lanier talked about with his maturation from last year to this year. He doesn't have as much on his shoulders because he has more weapons around him, and we talked about that 11-to-3 assist-to-turnover ratio coming into this game. So big time play, and then you got to give. I mean, how can you not love this kid, Washington? This is one of those kids, you don't want to play against him. No. You want him on your team because he's so relentless, so physical, and so athletic. The difference between the two teams, the body size and composition of a lot of the A&M bigs and forwards are so broad-shouldered and physical, where SMU is leaner, faster, jumps is just as well, but the physicality has been the edge so far for the Aggies. Playing a little bit faster doesn't necessarily mean you have to go at a breakneck speed. Just enough to throw the defense off balance. Phelps able to split defenders. Goes down to the hardwood after hitting the tough 2. Yeah, he's a bad boy. Don't forget, he still can get buckets. Good job going over the top of the help. High kiss off the glass. Welcome back into beautiful Dallas, Texas. Number 13, Texas A&M. Up on SMU 17-15. John Little back with Brian Burton. Buzz Williams, the 5th-year head coach at Texas A&M.
And man, what a job he has done to turn over the program in College Station. What do you like about Buzz Williams and just his experience and ability over the years?
Yeah, he's an extreme program builder. He's a relationship builder. He's extremely organized and detailed. Everything he does in his program is intentional. It's great to have him back home. He's an hour away from home right now, almost like a homecoming from Van Alstyne. Started his career at Navarro College in junior college, and then went to UT Arlington and Oklahoma City after that. And he's just done a terrific job of getting it out the mud, as the kids say. Started at the bottom, and now he's here.
They've got a fan base that are really excited about what Williams brings to the table. But Chuck Harris has been on fire in the first half. Brian, that is his third three in the Mustangs' lead.
Yeah, and A&M staff talked about they have to be able to defend SMU in one-on-one ISO situations because they're such a good one-on-one and ball screen team. And Chuck Harris making it rain from three with his third three-pointer.
Lindsey in and out. SMU wants to run and gun. This is what they do best. Williamson, baseline drive, cut off. Smith, extra pass to Edwards. Edwards finds Tyreek Smith. He's been silent so far. Get it back to Harris. Jitterbugging. Great extra pass. Smith wide open. Bangs it down. It's the 4-3 of the first half for SMU.
Yeah, we talked about three-point shooting being a huge key. SMU starting to get hot at Moody Coliseum, and the crowd definitely loving the home team's play.
Buzz Williams calling the timeout with SMU on an 8-0 run. It's been the triples.
This is part of what makes Edwards so valuable is he wasn't even looking to shoot that. As soon as it touched his hands, he knew that his teammate was wide open at the top of the key. Nothing but the bottom of the net. And when the ball starts going in from three for this SMU team, it makes them extremely dangerous because they have so many weapons, how they like to play off the bounce. They have speed in transition. They're great in ball screen situation. They're great in ISO situation and great on the offensive glass. So you add three-point shooting to that, it's a recipe for disaster for any opponent, including the Aggies.
Oh, man, we've got cleanup on aisle 43.
Okay.
No, aisle 43 over here, right in front of former President Bush. And I don't know whose drink this was. Was this yours? This is probably yours, right, Brian?
It was definitely not mine, but I'll appreciate that. I'll take the blame. I'll take the fall if I need to.
Yeah, exactly. I will, too.
Take one for the team.
You know what? I'll get my jacket off. I'll help clean it up here.
You're going chivalry style. I like it.
I'm going to put my jacket down for everybody to step on there. Man, there is a... There's a lot of
commitment right now.
It is moist over here. It's very, very moist. I'm getting a front row seat to this. But if this part of David B. Miller Court has not been waxed in a while, at least it is getting the buffing treatment at this point.
Now, I don't know if they would do that if it wasn't the president that was sitting there, but because it is, they're going above and beyond for Mr. Bush.
I'm going to collect this piece of ice right here. It's a piece of history, I think. Got one right there. All right.
Going back to a little bit of the commentary, Harris coming
mission
from the Big
accomplished
East.
Over here,
yeah, mission accomplished. We love that. Anyway, the roster, they have the #2 recruiting class in the American Conference. Lanier and his staff did a great job in year 2 adding pieces to the puzzle. All of them, majority of them coming from other Power 5 programs, so they're no stranger to playing in games like this.
Chuck Harris already has 3 threes, so he takes it inside, tries to finish strong. They're letting him play until now. A reach-in foul on SMU, and free throws on the way for Texas A&M on the other side.
Yeah, here you see the Dallas product doing what he does in front of the hometown fans of his that watch him play at Lancaster High School, playing with that joy you talked about after taking cookies.
Welcome back into the campus of SMU, home of the George W. Bush Presidential Center here in Dallas. The number 13 Texas A&M Aggies lead SMU 39-32 at the break. John Little back alongside Brian Burton. We saw some shooting stars in that first half, including Tyrese Radford.
Yeah, he was the star in the first half. 4 of 7 from 3. Not the biggest part of his game, but again, goes to show the offseason and the work. He's a guy that's known for attacking the paint and attacking the glass. One of the best offensive rebounding guards in the country. But in the first half, he's letting the head bob from his three-point shooting.
And Chuck Harris doing it from beyond the arc as well in the first half.
Yeah, get into a groove. Chuck Harris, 3 of 3. Shot it well, off the dribble, off the catch. Even had the next play where he drove the closeout because they were so worried about him making threes. And here you see a little bit of a heat check in the ball screen with the step back jumper.
Offensive rebounding, a big factor in this first half as well. 11 offensive rebounds for Texas A&M, leading to 11 second chance points, and also 9 more field goal attempts in that first half. Big reason why Texas A&M leads it at the break by 7, but SMU not out of it by any stretch. What's Rob Lanier saying to his team right now?
Yeah, just important to really get off to a better start scoring-wise. They did a great job defensively to start the game. Just got to get a little better shot selection. A little bit of their best possessions were when they played fast and when they played in the half court with ball movement and ball reversal. They're good in isolation situations, but don't want to start the game out too much isolation unless you're driving to kick to a teammate to create something else. Meanwhile, on the other end, Texas A&M, I love the fact that they wore the jerseys that they wore, not only the black, but the fighting is the first word that you see on that jersey, and that's exactly what they are representing. They have to continue to bring the fight early in this half, see if they can get SMU down double figures in their own building and cause a little bit of doubt in their mind. So it's been an awesome first half. Like you said before going into the halftime, it feels like it's March and it's only November.
A&M up by 10 with 1:32 to play. This was a 7-point game at the half, and in the second half, Texas A&M had grown their lead to double digits. The best little run that SMU had was a 9-0 run to cut it down to a 4-point game at 54-50. But coming out of a timeout, Texas A&M responded, got it back up to 9, and really they haven't looked back since.
Yeah, the game was tied for about 4.5 minutes. SMU's led for almost 3 minutes, but A&M's been in control majority of the way in this one. And again, you take out those small stretches, though, that SMU kind of went through their lull. They played it an even game, but again, we talked about that offensive glass. To me, that's been the difference in the game. Both teams wanted to make an effort there. I think you can talk about it. The coaches talked about you can't simulate the way that they attack the glass. You almost just have to experience it for yourself.
Winning on the road over a tough SMU squad, number 13 Ags moved to 3-0 with the 79-66 win.
Yeah, just a great game both ways. Both teams wanted to have a test. A&M with back-to-back road games. SMU had a home game in against a top 13 team in the country. This is what November's about, finding out those early tests to see where you stand. They will use this game, SMU will, later in the year to be able to say, hey, remember what we learned from that game, and it'll pay dividends when they get to conference play. And A&M will also use this early test as well to be able to pay dividends later for them and being road tough.
The SMU Mustangs player of the game, Chuck Harris. He was dialing it up from distance.
Yeah, he was awesome, and Coach wanted to see more threes go in for them. They were able to make 10. He made 5 of 7, 21 points, was able to also get 2 assists. And, you know, again, you want to see those new guys in a new uniform be able to see it and do it in the white in Moody Coliseum.